here.
We did it! We're in the future now, where robots exist.
Ribbits?
Kind of. Not really, but kind of.
Thank you, Zoidberg.
Oh, I miss Futurama. Despite having like 5 revivals. Is there a new season again coming out at some point?
I have no idea.
Because I'm pretty
Wouldn't
sure.
be surprised.
Pretty sure it got like a 3-season. Yeah, there we go. So Futurama. Wow, great start. Futurama season 13 expected to premiere in 2025, potentially as early as July. It's room for 20 episodes, and it was then there'll be 3 seasons that were 5 episodes a season. That seems odd. Huh? I don't know.
Odd, you say? Yes.
But they're pretty good, so I'm happy if you try. Anyway, so if you want to submit the, the robots from, because boy, this live today, right, Stuart? It can be very serious. It could be thank you, very bendery. Could be very silly. Could be very iconic. Could be very one-offs. It's a lot of variation, even just in say Futurama. Difference between Calculon and Bender and the lady one that they smooch and cheats with, and the luxury bot. Just that alone, you could fill up an entire chart. But we're not a Futurama based YouTube channel, and that's okay. What we did today, Stuart? Tell the audience, the wonderful audience they are.
We are ranking droids, robots from sci-fi franchises, because everyone loves a good droid and or robot, and if you don't, you're wrong. I love droids personally, and as Sam knows, I mean, he's visited and stayed in the ready room, and there's quite a few droids on display. A lot of sex droids and things in there as well, but
No,
don't know if you utilize those.
it's pronounced sax droids for saxophone playing.
Oh,
you always make this
yes,
mistake.
well.
Sax droids.
Gotcha.
I tell him this every time. Goodness. People think you're
Oh,
naughty.
yeah.
Terrible.
Yes.
Terrible. Yes, this is any universe, including Trek. And like I said, we are sort of this slightly broad scope. Would love 2 parts of this because there are so many variations. Because from literally Data, one extreme, to like a battle droid, both count just under a broad umbrella. Because for me personally, I'm going for a slew of things in my rating. It's probably more of a general rating because Bender has got more screen time and character than the probe droid from Star Wars, but I can judge on both designs, right? So I'm kind of a bit of everything, but I do like just the design aspect, which a lot of the time the old classics can be really good because of course they were often, if they're physically built for a physical film or TV show, mostly film, they probably had to be quite investment in budget. So a lot of these things end up being quite good. A lot of game ones, a lot of side ones, a lot of variety. So put in 5 for any of them. We'd love to see just there's loads, guys. I would love to just I really can't prepping this earlier. I'm like, oh damn, you don't really quite realize how many. So put some in, guys. I would love to see where on earth we follow or fall on them.
Yeah, because a lot of them have special functions and features, and I think data even counts for this one. So I mean, you can use data if you want. But yeah, I mean, lots of good droids and androids. It's kind of been an ongoing theme in sci-fi for a long time, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with. Already, there's some good ones, so I've got pictures for those already. So,
oh damn, he's on it. Okay, well I will get sharing, and you guys submit. I'm interested to talk about and compare, because when do you ever compare these? But I'm sure Stuart's got some interesting gut reactions. I'm excited. See you in a minute.
Yeah. Are you doing mechs too? Yes, of course we are. Not mech suits though, because they're not robots. If they're piloted by a pilot, they're not robots. So no mech suits. But there are certain mechs that would apply. Anyway, hit the like button, guys. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell icon to all so you don't miss any content from us. We love doing these fun little discussions with you guys, so please join us for those. If you're able to, just joining us, sharing it, and liking the videos are a big deal. But if you can super chat in, that really helps us out immensely. So please do that. And yeah, it'll be a fun discussion, I'm sure. Also, check the links down below. There are links to the Teespring and T Public store where you can just get yourself some good Trekyards merch, as well as some Droid stuff. There's Android stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can get at T Public and T Spring down there. So check those links. Do the things. You can also join us on a monthly basis by clicking the join button down there on YouTube or heading over to Patreon/Trekyards uh, to support us on a monthly basis, and that would be much appreciated also. So do all the things that you can do to help us out, and we really appreciate it. So, um, yeah. Sean O'Sullivan says that Robocop is clearly a cyborg. Yes, but his Robocop, his fucking robot is in the title. He counts as a robot because he's majority robot. It's fine. Uh, but yeah, looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with and what we can discuss about these. I'm not sure Sam and I are going to agree on everything, but that's all right. There is one that is the GOAT, the greatest of all time, which is going to be S tier, just hands down. But we'll get to that if we get to that. So, yeah, come up with your ideas for droids and or robots. There you go. Androids as well. I mean, that's a droid, right? All the things. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay, well, he's back, everyone.
I'm back. Hello, hello.
Mm.
Yeah, so I'm excited. And let's see if our darn thumbnail robots get picked. Because that's never normally the case. Alright, where are we starting our journey into the world of robot-like things?
Ribbits. We're gonna start with Olivia with $5 with Tars from Interstellar.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Quite a unique droid configuration, honestly, and
Mm-hmm.
super useful. It's good display screens. Interface is good. Can walk in a unique way. So, yep, Tars it is. Um, it's there we go.
Yeah. So this is the physical practical prop they built for Interstellar that actually did this, because that's why it's
Yes.
so surreal. It was puppeted, so they obviously took out the person behind him. But yeah, almost every single shot in the film, even some like grabbing Interstellar, is practical. So it has this really like craziness to it. Especially those giant lake shots, which again all in camera. It's like, oh, it's a real robot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it like rolls and stuff to move, which is cool.
yeah, it's sort of very 2001, not literally, but like Obelisk. So it's sort of that clean advancedness, and it does a shocking amount in the film. And I mean, if you're thinking like, what are some of the cool, reinvent the wheel? This is something you would never think of. 3 pillars, but in the movie, it's a fully fleshed out, unique robot. Now, personality I'm having some, but nothing that stands out now. But design wise, they made it and it worked, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, impressiveness, right?
And it's really thinking outside the box as far as design wise goes, because it's such a unique thing. It's just like you said, a monolith or a slab, but the the dynamic range of motion from it, because I think it does split
Shocking.
into four actually, because that middle piece
It
splits as
can, yeah,
well.
you're right.
And then it like does a roll and stuff to move. It also can just walk and hobble along. Um, and there is another version called something else in the same movie, an older version of it.
Mm.
Uh, so yeah, I mean, it's nothing that I would normally consider
Mm-hmm.
designing if I was
Mm-hmm.
going to design one, but I really
Mm-hmm.
like the approach they
Mm-hmm.
took,
Mm-hmm.
and just its voice has a nice voice. It has a very calm demeanor. Um, yeah, very very outside the box thinking on this one. So yeah.
That said,
Mm.
my gut only says C, because it is still, while clever, it's not inspirational beyond the fact they did.
Yeah.
And certainly, I remember the idea of it, but I don't remember it in, I mean, a few little scenes, but you know, compared to a T-800 or Robocop, I mean, they are seismically far apart. I don't want to give the icons
Yeah.
S by default, so you know,
Yeah.
very
No.
respectable C, but there's such a high bar of robots and androids that even in that tyrant, in fairness, C might be generous in the sense of like there are so many better, but it is a gentle clever, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I think C is perfectly acceptable.
Remember, you guys can bump if you really want to. Yes, we're teasing you. The power is fundamentally up to you guys, but this is just where we place it. And there's a poll as well, just for Stuart. Oh, Stuart, oh buddy, oh pal. Is R2D2 in your top 3 robots or androids of all time? Yes or no? Top 3. 8 votes. Vote now. Yes or no?
Go vote.
Easy
Go
one.
vote. Go vote. Go vote.
All right, great start. Love it. All right.
All right.
Next.
Next up, we got Dan Ben, £2. I love T3M4 from KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with what
Why
this
don't I
droid can
give some
do.
background and then you can say your first
Yeah.
reaction? So
Yeah.
this is your personal droid. Obviously, Old Republic is an older republic. No shit. And so this tech is, 1,000 years, 2,000 years older, and yet Star Wars doesn't really change very much, so that doesn't really make much difference. It's your friend droid that stays with you for the first game, and then because of course it doesn't age in the second game as well. So if each game is 50 hours, you potentially have 100 hours give or take with it. Very much an R2 in its technicality and function, as you can see, with a few more moving parts because it can be animated in a video game. And it's just a chipper. It is a very much R2 allegory, just in a reasonably different design.
Mm-hmm.
Four-wheeled certainly, because it always runs on 4 versus the 2. So that's the basic history. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it gives me a pet or a dog vibe. Like I said, I've never really played the games, but I've always liked the look of it. To be an older kind of quote unquote astromech droid, but still maintain that look. Like there's so many different droids in Star Wars. A lot of them I really like the designs of. Other ones not so much. This is one that I do like very much. Would definitely love to learn more about it. Like, does it speak? Does it just beep?
No, it
Because
beeps.
okay,
Beeps and squeak, and you understand if you need to.
does it have attitude like R2?
Different. I think it's actually probably more assertive. But that's because you're very much in the thick of it. Luke is often talking to koala bears, Ewoks, whereas in your character you might be fighting a giant space battle. Where it's with so the stakes are higher because it's a video game, right? You're doing more physically and practically. Overall, right? So it's a bit more.
Yeah,
has opinions, but it's very much like I say, allegory R2. But I think a very fair, good design, different enough to a lot of the Disney stuff. This definitely has. Not necessarily a prequel vibe, but I could tell you if I was asked, blindfold. If I didn't know where this was, I could tell you it was made before Disney took over, but after the prequels. Like it feels like that kind of like we've got detail, but also we're staying true to sort of George's ish vision, so it fits its bill, I should say.
Yeah, the creativity for the Star Wars droids always impresses me. Like I said, some of it really hits, some of it doesn't. This one is a success in my opinion. I assume it's not as tall as R2 as well, probably like half the size.
2/3. I mean, the arms are pretty high. It's not short by any means, but yeah, not as tall as R2. But I like it. I like a pet allegory because while you don't think of it as a pet, that the 4 legs certainly confer that. So I think that's actually very apt.
Well, it's very much like BD1 here. Like he's kind of like a pet. He's like a parrot on your shoulder all the time, helping you out, doing things. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Uh, B? Do you think B works for this one? I mean, like I said, I've never really played the game, so I can't.
It is trickier, yeah. But is that design? Because I have the game as reference, but even I'm not the most like whoa. And design wise, I think it's good. Oh, I don't. I mean, it's definitely for me more interesting than the C, but I think it might get overshadowed quickly, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, put it at B and C. I think put it at B and then SEE. Whatever. Although I suppose and C. Not one of my favourite Star Wars droids, but I respect it fully. And I did, it was a friend for a long while.
Yeah, very interesting design too. So,
and you would love those games.
I know I have them. I just haven't played them.
You would love them more, 20 years ago when they came out, and you can't judge them against modern graphics and play styles. But apart from that,
I don't really do that anyway with older games. I take it for what they are. So
yeah, I guess just if you didn't know better because there was no better, then it was like the next big cutting edge thing versus we improved that over the last 12 years. Like, well, yes, you did. Fine. But it was still amazing.
Cool. Yeah. Olivia, member for 26 months, sorry, the rank of Ensign. Are we doing mechs too? Also R2D2. Mechs, not so much. If they're piloted by a human, no. I don't think mechs count because that would just get into the weeds too much with like Robotech and Battletech and all that shit.
Yeah.
If they're autonomous, they think for themselves, they're sentient, then yes. But she said R2.
Yes.
But it's obviously an S.
Oh.
He is the GOAT. He's the greatest character in all of Star Wars. He is the main character in Star Wars. He's always getting everybody's asses out of the fire. He's got an attitude, which I like. Definitely a multi-tool, a Swiss Army knife, if you will, of gadgets and gizmos. Always has a plan, even when he doesn't. He's like the MacGyver of the Star Wars universe. I really do think he is the best Star Wars character ever. And, he even has the ability to fly, which would have been nice to know earlier. But, the rocket jets just don't work after a certain point. It's fine. Also, the versatility of him to be able to go up and down stairs very slowly, but he can do it. He can do stuff like that, which always confused me as a kid. Like, how could he get around and over things? Like, he'd have trouble on Deep Space Nine, is what I'm saying. He's got to step over the lips of those doors. But with the third leg, makes him quite mobile. And yeah, he's one that hasn't had his memory wiped, so he's kind of developed a personality. And I think that's pretty funny, actually. So R2 is just fantastic. Everything about him, the way he looks. I've always wanted an R2D2 ever since I was a kid. I've got a lot of R2D2s. None of them are full size, however. That still has not yet happened. But yeah, he's absolutely one of my top tier droids. And I think one of the reasons I really love droids and robots as a whole is because of R2D2. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean,
and tons of screen time, unless JJ has drains. Then he puts him under a fucking blanket for the whole movie, but that's okay.
Yes, and now with C-3PO appearing in other TV shows, he's now been overdone with C-3PO being in more things, but originally they were a team, of course.
Yeah.
But kind of hard to be a team when you turn one off and then, yeah, they were unteamed for the last 15 years. But that's okay. Yeah, I mean, it is sort of a sexy tin can with legs, or garbage can. If you look at the basic shape, but that is also a simplicity of design. The blue is a wonderful shade of blue. It's cool but still techy. They're sort of it's that fine line of cramming every inch of his frame with something agreeably panel-y wise. It's probably excessive, but it just sort of works. But it's kind of like, let's just cover every inch with a panel. What are these droids meant to do? Not exactly sure, because they can't do everything. And he has his own personality as well on top of that. It's sort of a cultural zeitgeist, isn't it, really? And yeah, the jet,
absolutely.
Any droid is limited radically by what they can do. They can't fight, really. They can't... they're limited hugely, and then you add some jets, and then they can do a lot more. Oops.
I mean, you say they can't fight, but Roger. Some are designed specifically for fighting.
I meant of this style.
Oh, of the astromech style.
Yeah. What we associate droids is a zeitgeist thing. It's which is that, I guess, is partly why it's funny to see these very ineptly in things in situations, and putting them right at the front of the Rebel Alliance. The first film was genius because they're like,
Yeah.
it's like your granddad and your pet. It's like, oh dear, but it worked.
Well, he's essentially just a rolling navigation computer
Yeah,
with like gizmos for getting out of certain situations and interfacing with other computers. So he's a very multi-tool,
great
as it
drinks holder
were.
as well. Put a thing on it.
Well, can be, yeah, for sure. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
there's a real simplicity to this that just works. So it's definitely an S because it's cleaner, though it's not literally cleaner, and it was treated with such love and care attention for design. Yeah, like it's not the most creative in this list, but it's not trying to be. Like it's trying to be the best of its style, right?
I think it set the tone for a lot that
Oh
came
god,
after
yeah.
it.
It's like
So
BB-8 isn't that creative, but he's a concept done well. He's a ball with an astromech head. That's it, right? It's an easy sell. Whereas other droids like that, well, that's really interesting. But he is the epitome of the simple elegance. Go for an S then.
yeah, I think that's perfectly fair. Yes, it is.
I mean, he's more designed than C-3PO. But he's got less character than C-3PO. I know you disagree, but just in terms of he can't speak, it's like Pike. Pike in Strange Worlds is more character than Pike in Menagerie. One bleeps, one speaks. It's just the nature of talking, but
Yeah,
doesn't take away. It's just
yeah.
That's
All
a
right.
nice spread of the board right now. I like it.
Next up, we got Olivia again with
Ooh.
$5. S tier Optimus Prime. Yes.
Which Optimus? Because I don't know if you think
Well,
the ones
it'll be
from the
G1.
okay.
She didn't specify, so we're going with the
I know
first
that's
one,
why I was
G1.
wondering because I was more people would think of the one from the Michael Bay because more people have seen that.
The same character, essentially.
Well, just very different design though.
Yeah, but you don't talk about Michael Bay designs. So
Do you know? I thought people liked
anyway,
Michael Bay
yes,
Transform designs overall.
the fearless leader of the Autobots, a man of loyalty and integrity, um, a fantastic leader in general. He's absolutely dedicated to his troops. Won't do anything. Won't send them to do anything he wouldn't do himself. I think the board needs to be resized on the live as well. By the way,
Oh,
um,
what? Oh shit! What? Why?
and
Why?
Matrix of Leadership. He's again the goat. But I grew up with him, so I'm very biased about that. The design, while clunky, I think works super well, and really the G1 toy is fantastic the way it transforms. All of the Most of the designs that he's had over the years have been pretty good. Even the Michael Bay one was very complicated and very kind of, and now it's way too big.
I know. You're behind. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, even though the Michael Bay designs are kind of, I don't like the truck, I don't like the flames and stuff, but I get it. It is corrected eventually in Bumblebee, which is fine, which is good. So, um, but yeah, even his Cybertron version from like War of Cybertron games and stuff like that is still truck-like enough, and it's a simple design that actually translates very well into a bunch of different looks. So, um, plus, his blaster, his sense of loyalty, his willingness to protect the human race because he brought their war to our planet and he feels guilty about it. There's a lot about the character that really is just the best of some leader qualities, and that's what Peter Cullen was going for when he did the voice and stuff. Um, and Peter Cullen has been the voice of most Optimus Primes over the years. The latest Transformers 1 movie, you get to see a younger Orion Pax, who later becomes Optimus Prime. And again, that's so well done. It is Chris Hemsworth that does the voice of Optimus in that. And it's fun to see the same character but younger. We've got a lot of this character over the years. Like we've seen him even in G1. We saw the original Orion Pax. He was just kind of an ignorant little boy who didn't know what the hell was going on, essentially, and had to pick a side. You know, proved his loyalty and his goodness, essentially. His his alignment is perfect for leadership, because he cares about everybody. So there's a lot to talk about Optimus Prime. I'm done.
Wow. So obviously, I'm basing it on the design because I don't have that legacy factor. You know, of the three Michael Bays four that I've seen, he's fine as a character. He's that they're all there. Bumblebee is the most, but that's because he's in it more. But you know, I mean, for me, the funnest character of those films is the Spock robot because he has actual more personality and weird character swaps. That's also what Spock is, right? So those characters where they're all just playing the part, right? No one in there is very deep. Design wise, I mean, yeah, it's cool. He's a truck and a robot. Both limit each other because the fact that you have to have all the truck parts limits his shape. And the fact that the truck has to then become a body with human proportions limits the shape as well. So it's kind of fun. But that's the point. It's both combined with the strength of neither, which is why I'm always more interested in the original shape because he doesn't. This is him in a fake form, right? He should not look like this. Optimus looks like a robot living thing, and then happened to look like this, right? So that's why, this is a disguise. But that's what we're playing with here. I mean, fine. I mean, the head's iconic design, but the body's basic and simple and optically creative. Besides the logical, Again, depends what we're going for because based on all I've seen, he's fine, but they're not the main part of those films, even though they are, which is weird. That's just misplacements of the films, right? And even in the one show I watched when I was a kid, it was more about the mini ones they had that they were like,
That's a shit show. So
there we go. And Beast Wars again, I wouldn't even associate. They're animals, so they're not even the same either. So it's like
that's Optimus Primal. That's a different character.
See, all of my reference points aren't even the one. So I would say design wise, I mean B, because it's fine. Like it's good, it's okay. It's much better designs, but that's again my knowledge was your knowledge. So
well, he's not going in B. I can tell you that.
Fair enough. And that's why I wanted to clarify design-wise, because if you're doing every design, then you can variety a bit. So if you want to stick with this one and people can put in the other variants, I think it'd be interesting, because like I said, there are other ones. Right, where do you want to put it then? Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm going to put him in S just because of his history and his legacy. Like, there's a lot more to him than what you've seen. There's a lot more to him than meets the eye. Aha! I got it in there. Uh, so yeah, I'm going to put it there. I mean, if people disagree, they can move it if they want, but honestly, he is, like he's one that's been around forever. And the different iterations, while different physically, are all the same essentially with his demeanor and all that. So it's the most unchanging over multiple different shows and stuff. So he's actually got quite a legacy. So I'm gonna put him in S.
I remember I was going pure in design. Remember
Well,
that was my metric.
yeah,
for this.
there's multiple different designs. Like a Cybertronian design that's very
like
similar.
I'm just going for the one that was picked. So it's the one the one I presented, right?
Yes,
that's all. That's
still
okay.
an S.
There we go.
Yeah. All right. What is next?
Got a few, which is awesome.
Olivia Julius, $5. Also, might as well the C3PO stand-in lady in Spaceballs. Yeah, Dot.
There you go. Place that if you would.
Yeah, voiced by Joan Collins. It is supposed to be annoying and irritating, kind of like C3PO, but in a female form, and she definitely pulls that off. She's kind of prissy. Interesting. She's got a little display on her chest that says sleep mode or whatever, depending. Yeah, I mean it's a parody of Star Wars, and I think they did a really good job doing the gender swap and stuff like that, and still having it visually recognizable as the C3PO analog, right? So, and the acting I think is very well done, both physically because Joan Rivers wasn't in the suit; she just did the voice.
Yeah, no way she was going to do that willingly.
No. So yeah, it comes off as just another version of C3PO, and I think Aerosol picture is a great one. perfectly encapsulates. She's holding the parasol for the lady. I can't remember her name offhand though. Anyway, um, but yes, it's a parody of C-3PO. It's Star Wars parody essentially, and it's done very well. So
Yeah, it's funny. I totally forgot this was in the movie of how little they are in the movie. Like, a some of the movie really stands out. This character is entirely forgettable to me. I mean, I remember they walked with them in the sand and that nothing else. So as far as I'm concerned, they're a one scene character. I would say a D at best because they're uncreative and unmemorable for me. For me anyway, right? And it's a joke character, right? Joke within a joke. But it's funny because if you said villains, I would have said the Spaceballs villain character is quite good because he's got enough of his own personality. I guess this one does too, but it's more of a silly.
but he's not a robot, so
No, I'm saying if you had in the separate chart of like villains, he's quite an interesting villain with a stupid hat, but like it's interesting. So yeah, I far prefer the one in C because they're really creative and interesting and different. This is a clone rip off of one with just a joke. So that's my vote. That's my vote. What would you have said, or will you say?
I was going to probably say a D personally, just because it is a parody, so there's not much going on with it. It's she's basically just there to be C-3PO. And yes, you remember the sand scene, but
Yeah.
there are many other scenes that she's in that she does kind of help out.
Is there a scene looking up her skirt at one point?
Yes, she's
Okay.
climbing a ladder, and Barf is right behind her. And stop looking at my skirt, Mister.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I'm glad I'm not a creeper. That was a real scene.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I think D is fair because it's taken very tongue in cheek. So.
And there are so many good robots, right?
Yeah. Good shout out though, Olivia.
I mean, great. Yeah, I love the variety here. Yeah, I mean, great variety.
All right. Next up is Olivia again. $5. The Iron Giant.
No, I've not seen this film since I was about 7. So if you've seen one recently, give us the spiel. Because I know of it, but I have not watched it for fun in a very long time.
I haven't seen it recently, but yeah, he's an alien. He's essentially a death machine. He was created as a weapon, and he has a transformation mode where he's got like a big weapons that come out. But he crashes to Earth, gets a bonk on the head, gets a little dent, and doesn't remember. And he meets Hogarth, and they have
Hogarth.
adventures
I forgot
together.
that was his name. Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
And he idolizes Superman, finds out he can fly, and then the military attack him. And once he sees weapons, he gets all aggressive. But he basically sacrifices himself to save the town because there's a missile coming, and he kind of achieves his ideal state, which is Superman, and saves the day. Is he dead? We don't know because at the end there's some debris. There's a screw, and it starts to like light up, and then it like rolls out into the forest. So he's probably going to reconstitute himself at some point, as a weapon would do, I guess.
Liquid
But yeah,
Terminator style.
he's essentially like the Doomsday Machine in Star Trek, designed for
Goodness.
death and destruction. But yeah,
What a
really
sell.
creative. I love that whole movie, the '50s vibe of it, like a '50s B movie. So yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
great design. Very industrial while still having a sort of sleekness. Rivets go a long
Yeah,
way to industrial, and yet kind of the shapes are refined. I don't think it's a shot from the
yeah,
movie per se. Obviously, I'm sure there's lots of artist renditions over the years, right? 'Cause it's such a famous
yeah.
thing. If I recall, voiced by Vin Diesel before he was Vin Diesel.
I believe so. Yeah, yeah. I forgot that, but yeah,
Yeah, exactly. He speaks some enough to be reminiscent, but not necessarily super in it. I remember him in Ready Player One as being quite a big deal because everyone likes him, right?
yeah,
He's a friend to all, sacrifice himself kind of thing.
yeah. And he's got that, like I said, that 1950s industrial look, like you said, but also like Frankensteinish look. So it's
Yes.
kind of a '50s B
Oh, I
movie,
like that. Yeah.
like monster
Yeah,
that becomes
I love
friend.
that. 100%
So
is what
yeah,
they're going for. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, really great design, great movie, fantastic. It just kind of came out of nowhere, that
Hmm.
movie, and it was just so well done. Um, It's well loved. It's kind of a cult classic, I think. I don't know how well it performed when it first came out
I think
in the theater.
well, and then it became massive after.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
only
I
thing
think so
I'll
too.
the only thing I'll say about this that is an odd point, but everything has different criterion. This is one of the few I don't know how it works. There's no A to B with it. It just is a cool bit of
The alien
tech.
tech, you're not supposed to know. That's the fun
Well,
part.
indeed, I feel like I can understand C3PO R2D2 and Iron Man. You know, like there's a separation of reality to silly with this, which is fine. Just there's a you know what I mean. There's a very slight for this one in particular. It's like okay, well, it's not meant to be understood. It's meant to be appreciated.
Hmm, hmm.
Yeah.
It, the movie really deserved a sequel, but at the same time, they would have ruined it with a sequel,
Mm-hmm.
perhaps. So,
100%. Yeah.
um, I probably want to say A, just for overall design and just the love that was around the character.
Yeah. My guts is a low A because it's great, but not my personal favorites. But it's certainly a very stocky, good, clever robot design that's simple.
Mhm.
It just kind of works with its own character. And having a what is that head, right? Why does it need giant like? But that works. So yeah, I would say a low A for subdividing at all. Yeah, not one of my favorites, but I know it is a great piece of sci-fi lore.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. And yeah, it turning up in Ready Player One was pretty cool to see live action version,
Live
quote
action.
unquote, quote unquote live action. Yeah, I knew you were going to do that. Um,
Damn. Okay, guys, can someone give us an F because we're being very positive.
we wanted to rip something apart.
Yes. Yeah.
Olivia
Oh my
Julius,
goodness.
$5. Fine. Last one for me, Bumblebee, Michael Bay, my favorite. Oh, you picked that
That's
fucking one.
specific version.
Well, you should have went with the 79 Camaro version, like his first appearance, but
Which one's that?
oh, that is the one. That's right.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
that's the one
it's
from.
fine.
Yeah, I try to get the one from the first
Um,
movie.
okay, Bumblebee was my least favorite character in G1 because he's a fucking Volkswagen Beetle. He was an annoying little shit that hung out with Spike. He was just an asshole. Then the
Ouch.
movie came around. He became a 79 Camaro. Didn't talk, which was to negate the annoyingness of how he was in G1. But I loved the
Mmm.
inclusion of talking through the radio. Even had
Mm-hmm.
some Star Trek quotes in there, which was fantastic. And yeah, he became the goat of those films. Like he is the linchpin around which everything kind
Mm-hmm.
of happens. He's kind of the R2D2 of those films. And
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Fair.
transformation was super unique and interesting. The fact that it's my 79 or well, it's not a 79, it's like a 77 Camaro. But anyway, same style. Really made me perk up and go, huh. And they turned Bumblebee, my least favorite character, into one of my favorite characters from the in those Bay films. So kudos to them for that. He does go through quite a bit in the films. Um, even gets killed at one point in Rise of the Beasts and comes back. It's a whole thing. Uh, but being able to go from the old Camaro, scan a new Camaro driving by, change his form into the new Camaro. Like I love the Cybertronian tech that's involved with that. You can scan whatever and kind of become that. And then that was also the first showing of the fifth gen Camaro, which was coming back after they had made Camaros for a few years. So again, it's like piqued my interest. Uh, and I love like his name's actually B-27. He's he's in Transformers 1 as well. He's annoying and young in that, but in a good way. Again, the character's treated very well over multiple different iterations. Most of the cartoon series that involved him, he wasn't great, honestly. Um, so it's the films that kind of brought him at least up for me. But this particular version is great because the intricacy of that design, the robot design, and the transformation process is insane to me. He's also got a battle mode where he's got like the face shield and still looks like a bee, like a hornet. He's got the little horns and stuff and the color, so it fits with his name perfectly. And he can be quite sinister looking when he's in that mode as well. So yeah, he's a fantastic character, at least in this form. G1 Bumblebee would not be anywhere near where this one's going to be on the list. So those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, he's a. It's funny because he kind of is the dog, the best friend, the. Not often you get the car and
Yeah.
the car and the best friend, and yeah, I mean, an amazingly creative idea to go. Let's not have them talk, and yet still convey. It's a good choice. It's the most characterful things in those films is the fact they gave this that ability.
It kind of made him a little like R2D2, where his kind of
Hmm.
his he did like beeps and whines and stuff when he didn't do
Yeah.
the radio. So it was kind of like that communication where it's like, "What are you trying to tell me, boy?
Yeah.
Did Demi fall down the well?" Um, so it kind of had the same kind of vibe, right? It's another reason I think I really like the movie version.
Design wise, though, it's obviously busy,
It is, yeah.
and to understand it is not important, right? A master of tech at the time, and these are astounding visual effects even now. The fact that yes, there's obviously clipping because they couldn't do it perfectly, but I mean, that's not what's in a car. I'm sure it's kind of both. Because I think in those films it is a outer shell, but there's still the
Well,
robot inner, you know.
yeah, it's more like nanotechnology almost with the way those ones
Yeah,
transform. Like their Cybertronian forms are so complex, and there's so many like moving parts when they
yeah.
transform. It's yeah,
So that is a good example of it's neither the car nor the robot, but it's both combined, you know.
yeah.
But it is overcomplicated. But the yellow's great and the helmet's pretty good. I would say low B for me because it's overcomplicated. If it was streamlined a bit,
Yeah.
kind of like the Bumblebee in the Bumblebee film,
Yeah.
that would be high design wise. Character wise, I think characters would get this to be a low B for me because it's got a lot of character, but the design is too cluttered. Um, that's personal preference, right?
Yeah. I was thinking B as well.
All
Or
right.
Bumblebee. B.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Put him at B for now. If anybody wants to move him, you feel free.
Yeah.
Okay. Sergeant Montgomery, member for 54 months at the rank of lieutenant. Thank you, Lieutenant.
Appreciate it.
Johnny Five is alive. This ranks high for me, not only because of nostalgia, but that is a badass robot design with 1980s tech. Yeah, Johnny Five is, again, he's like the Iron Giant. He's designed as a military weapon. He has the laser.
But he's a cute little robot.
He's not, though.
He's
He's
like a
got a big
he's
laser
like a
that,
Mars
and they
robot
go,
looking thing.
the eyes go red. They become very tactical. Um, but same sort of deal. He was defective, ended up falling off a truck, and
Oh,
met these met these random people who like taught him to be a good person.
taught him to
Gets
be
rid of
nice.
gets rid of the laser, replaces it with a toolbox. Because he doesn't want to be a weapon. He wants to be alive. He wants
A
to.
real
He
boy.
feels like he's becoming sentient, and yeah, even the sequel is really good as well. Um, it's funny. I've got most of these droids like somewhere in here.
I hope you do. Yeah, I was hoping for that.
Um, yeah, and the voice, the personality, the everything about that movie is really fun. It's a great cast. It's a feel good movie. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, number five is alive.
Yeah,
Um,
never seen the movie, but I've seen the design. It's certainly talked about in terms of 80s something or other.
mm,
So I mean, it's not my first time looking at it, of course. But my only question on it is that every piece of it is so distinct. You say it's so advanced, but the head's being kept up by like three very small bits of metal, which I suppose wires are meant to
hydraulics.
go through. Yeah. So is it wirelessly connecting to the face to make it work? I mean, there's no brain in the face, but like if it's that advanced, if it's meant to be designed for war, and it's that, I know it's a small robot, isn't it? It's not big.
No, it's like the size of a person.
Well, okay, it's a human sized, but like
Yeah.
everything's so small, but that's why it feels like a really not advanced piece of tech, like someone's homework project. A genius.
It's 80s. It's 80s tech. It's 80s military tech.
Is it trying to be 80s military tech? As in
Yes,
what we
it's
could make?
state of the art robot from the 80s, which we didn't have robots in the 80s.
And that blue thing
So
is its laser that goes up and shoots?
yes, it flips up like this, and then it's like a laser beam. Its eyes go red. It's more squat position. It gets
So it's more of a laser cannon than a. Like, what else does it do weapony apart from just be a laser cannon? Which is fine.
that's about that's about it.
Okay, so it's a mobile turret.
Yeah, it's like a tank almost, but
Okay,
like
that most. So
person size for the battlefield.
so it's not really a robot so much as a mobile tank with an intelligence.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense to me. It's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
Probably give him a B. Personality wise, he's
Mm.
amazing. He's definitely got an arc in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's a piece of machinery that becomes sentient. So, yeah, I'm gonna say B just for the design and stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's classic 80s
But it also fits
stuff.
in the same category as Iron Giant. It's just
Yeah,
clever. Like something
yeah,
about it just kind of works. Now this is not an original like visual. This is like this has been done loads of times, but this particular culmination is a reason the zeitgeist goes zeitgeist, right?
yeah,
And that works quite well.
yeah. All right. Olivia Julius, $5. Also, Sam. Wow, he is so lifelike, but he looks too artificial. But so Sam as a
So
robot.
insulting. I mean, my goodness. And I've got a couple of variations of this because, of course, I do. So that's the one we can discuss first. But I've got hopefully a better one. All right, your thoughts.
I would prefer working with this. That's a good look.
It's what every co-host dreams to hear.
This
Excellent.
looks like a butler bot that you'd find in like something like iRobot in the future, you know.
I like the waistcoat. It looks smart. I told it to do it Star Wars like. This is not Star Wars like at all.
Kind of is.
I don't know. It feels just sort of. It's anime. I would say anime over Star Wars. I've asked it to create one that's got more humanistic. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. Works pretty hard. Doesn't sleep enough. Robot cells are never correctly powered. Zero.
Unlike you,
Oh,
ironically,
oh.
this one is more like lifelike.
I knew you're going to go there.
I don't know. Where do you want to place this one? I want to put it at C for Cockings. Although I like the design. The design's pretty cool.
Yeah, he had a better version, and I'm just about to do it in a. Well.
Be better if your eyes weren't red. And
Okay,
evil,
this is kind of horrific, but I'm going to place it because it's photoreal, and I really want a photoreal.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, go for C.
Not this one though.
Not this one.
No,
Okay,
this one's awful.
Fine.
That's terrifying.
Fine.
Looking.
Android me gets C. Humanoid robot gets lower, but we'll go with this one then.
Yeah, this is a much friendlier looking design. Let's be honest. Except for the red eyes, but I mean, they don't look super evil, so we get a pass.
Super evil, barely inconvenience. Wait, wrong show.
Right?
Thanks, guys. You're all so supportive.
Why? What are they all saying?
That's just very nice to, just to put me in. It's great.
All right. Mark Lawrence, $5. Info from Star Rec 4 in the Perkinning. Data parody for the win. Now, these movies are interesting to say the least.
We watched them.
We did.
I don't think we watched it from the start, though. I think we kind of did something weird because for obvious reasons.
Yeah, we did.
And then we just committed.
Yep.
Yeah, he wasn't bad. I mean, I don't think he had anything except being Data, but also if he was trying to play Data, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, as harsh as it sounds, I'll equally put him as the Mega Maid because I didn't see enough of him. Oh, not the Mega Maid, the you know what I mean, the Spaceballs person.
Dot Matrix.
Yeah, but very
I kind of
cool
want
of
to put
them to
him.
do.
Okay, we'll put him at D. That's fine. Yeah.
It just feels like a weird one to put any higher, even though kind of cool. A lot of good stuff in that film though, or films.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of work was put into it, that's for sure.
Yes.
Olivia, $5. Andrew Martin, Bicentennial Man. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen this film in a fucking forever,
Mm.
so I really can't say much.
Yeah, this film has no Blu-ray.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that astounding? Like you can't really buy it because
Yeah.
even though it's an
Huh.
amazing movie and Robin Williams and he's absolutely exceptional in it and the cast is brilliant and the story's brilliant, it's not celebrated as a film that's buyable and celebratable, and it's very odd to me. I don't understand why. And the fact that it was actually Robin,
Probably some corporate bullshit.
yeah, probably. It was really Robin.
Yeah.
He had to be actually. This is an almost skin tight suit, because I've seen some behind the scenes on it. He had to be screwed into it every day, and it took a long time to take him out. So he was fully encased in a metal, like C3PO, right? And several parts were actually cutting into him during the production, and he just did the scenes and then worked out after. So he hurt himself doing it. And obviously, the specific android is a butler, and then he gets more human throughout the film. He has internals, he has externals, and eventually by like year 300, he evolves.
Yeah.
He via technology and organics evolves a point where he can then die organically, full circling from being a robot. And that's an life
Yes.
ambition, because then life's only meaningless if you can end. And he dated the daughter of, well, he married the daughter of his owner, who is played by the same person because look, hey, I'm not going to judge that. My cast play their own descendants. It's fine. And it's not a classic Robin Williams performance either. He's actually like different in this. He's doing a character. There's not Robin Williams elements to it, but he's not playing a flubber, right? There's a real character in here. Yeah.
I just want to address something. Raj
Yeah.
says, "Are you including robots that have humans inside of them? If you are, then Gundam franchise and Pacific Rim movies. No, because those are mech suits. They're not robots."
Yeah. How many you need a sentient or not sentient? A battle computer maybe, but you'd have to have a battle computer with some of the hello there, let's fight, let's work together kind of thing. Just an armored suit would be, and do an armored suit one, right? Be a different
So Iron Man and Jarvis. Because that's walking a fine line as to what applies to
yes and no.
robot.
That's not the suit, that's the computer of his house, which goes everywhere. Jarvis isn't the suit, Jarvis is in his house, it's in all of his tech, it's in his car, it's in his... So, I know what you mean, but if it was only in the suit, it would be, but it's not, it's in everywhere. That's just an AI he uses. Good
I wouldn't have accepted Iron Man anyway, so...
Yeah, no. But I would accept an Iron Man who was purely an android, who like had a computer working it only. That'd be interesting.
I feel like design-wise, this one's a little creepy. I know the movie's really good. Robin Williams does a really good job. Since I haven't seen it in a dog's age and I don't remember much about it, let's give it B for Bicentennial Man because it's a unique design. But yeah,
I'm with an easy A because it has even more character than the Iron Giant, with a much stronger arc, way more dialogue, very different design. Like they're very equal in amazingness, just in very different ways. And the journey is so emotive and so heartfelt. And yeah, it's like it's the opposite of date. No, it is Data, but in a different way, kind of. No, it's an amazing piece. And I really wish there'd be like 4K and celebrate it because they do not do that. It bloody annoys me. Yeah. And a good design. Like it's just trying to be a robot that you could make in 20 years.
Yeah.
But then it has a robot with a human skin, and they play into that and they do stuff with that, and you see inside it at certain points. And there's a great CG shot where he like takes off his body and puts it as a, yeah. Very
Yeah.
clever. Very clever.
All right. Classic for real,
Oh,
$5.
oh my God.
Someone submitted an anime girl, and it's not me. Well, Humaki Samashiga the Booty version of the Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime shit. Optimus Prime. You got it. You got it.
Let's put it right where it belongs. F. Because it's a girl that looks like Optimus Prime. Looks like a cosplay. So don't know anything about it, what it's capable
Well,
of.
hold.
So.
I mean, it could be a robot. I mean, it could be an Optimus robot with a human face. I mean, no, it must be, because look, the arm joints, a human can't fit in that.
Sure.
Yeah. So assume it's an Optimus style.
F.
Oh, come on, that's a D.
It's ripping off Optimus Prime.
Yeah, but it looks cool. Come on, look, come on. There are worse ones we can look at, right? At least this has look cool points, right? There's further down to go than here.
Doesn't look like a robot. I want to put it at F, but he said D, so I'll put it at D.
Yeah, I want to give space to a proper F, right? I think that's that. Yeah, I'm trusting that's actually a synthetic life form robot person. I'm trusting you. Don't let me down.
Classic for real, $20, $5 each to bump up the anime girl already on there from D to S. Red alert, yeah, red arrow alert, shields up.
Bump it up, Stuart. Bump it up.
All right, I'm gonna put her right there underneath Optimus Prime. He's taking a shit of himself. It's an S. $50 to make it proper size so people can see it. All right.
And you get one free as well.
What?
And you get a free with that 50 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Marco, $5. Okay, an F. Although maybe it's an S for someone. Alpha from original Power Rangers. All I remember is him like having a high squealy voice and doing this a lot. Everything was an emergency.
Everything, yep.
Nothing to say about it. Don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I know.
Where's Donnie when you need him?
Yeah, I've seen bits and bobs. He's in the movie. Yeah, he's a classic butler friend. And I think he tries hard, and I think it's a reasonably decent armor design. You know, reasonably decent, colourful man in a suit, but I think the actor put a lot of personality into it, both the voice, same character voice. Yeah, I don't. Why F? I mean, it's a decent design, very characterful in lots of episodes. You know,
D at least.
Yeah, D at least. I mean, I think personality-wise, it should be in C because it's got a distinct personality. If you're going on that, right? Like, there are lots of robots that are not. You know, like most of the droids in Star Wars is like super background. They have no personality, right? Like I'm just saying, don't worry, but some. What's in D to compare? Because definitely, your childhood. Oh yeah, definitely says a C then compared to what's in D. Yeah, 100%. Because the D is joke ones. This is a real character. Yeah, C, 100%. Easy peasy. Alpha squeezy.
Okay, classic for real, $2. Wow, I need my eyes checked. Seriously. Okay. Classic for real, $5. The Hawk 206, very heavy Takata tank, and from Ghost in the Shell standalone complex series. Was it a robot?
Yes.
Or just a tank?
Well, it had it did a lot of auto tracking.
This?
Yes. I'm pretty sure it was aware of its surroundings and did stuff independently, so that would therefore make it a tank with a brain. Like Ed 209, if that's a robot and this is a robot. Or if Ed 209
I disagree 100%, but okay.
Well, I'm just if Ed's a robot, this is a robot.
Sure. I still disagree, but that's okay.
Okay.
There's again, that's a fine line again of what qualifies, but
well, it's like if Iron Giant didn't have a personality and just controlled itself killing people, then it wouldn't be a robot then, you know? So it's in that greyness of the line. But if it's able to control itself, then it's a dumb robot.
So it's more military hardware just doing what it's programmed to
Yeah,
do.
100%.
It's an F.
Well, but it adds
Because
some.
it's not, it doesn't have that spark of personality that makes a robot for our purposes for this list.
Yeah, but then just the same thing with them for Super Droids. They'd be F as well. If not taking design in, is there any design aspect in here you'd like to take it up an F? Otherwise, that might clarify some bigger, more famous things straight into F. Or is the design also an F?
I don't know. You're making the rules, so you decide. Because battle droids, I would argue, have personalities. Some of them.
Yes, but not Super Droids in Attack of the Clones. The only thing it does is it punches them out of the way, and that's just a get out of the way mechanism. So that'd be also an F. Whereas battle droids that do, because they say things. But yeah, put F, and we'll put some other similar graded things in F. I mean, it's also not that interesting a design. Like it's fine, you know. It's a very literal crab tank or scorpion tank. There are better, my personal preference, but the Zoids of this, but not, is a far better design of a, you know, a spider tank, not tank. That's a Zoid. Someone parts it, but I think it's a much cooler design.
Sergeant Montgomery throws in $1, so thank you.
It does help.
And then another $5. I'll buy that for $1. Okay, there you go. Robocop. Keeping up with the nostalgia of the 80s. Sean Sullivan said when he came in, it's more of a cyborg because it's part human, but Robo is in the name, man. It is very much a robot.
Well, that's why we're including broader things, because it's a man in a robo suit who's being on life support.
Yeah.
With a chip in his brain, but that's why we're including it, because you can't not include him.
Yeah.
In this general thing.
Totally epic design wise. Love the sheen on the armor, that kind of rainbow effect you get, and just even the new film. I really enjoy the new film. A lot of people hate it. I thought it was very well done. I love seeing just basically his head and his lungs, and the hand. But classic Robocop is classic Robocop. He's a badass. What can you? He auto targeting with his gun. I mean, the gun's iconic in and of itself. Um, sure, it's more Murphy than robot per se. Like he does have directives. He does have programming, but he also has the human aspect that takes over as part of the plot. Um, but the design is epic. The sound effects from the movements to the walking, that's thunk, thunk, thunk. There's a lot of like classic Robocop things that I just think really make this awesome. Plus, having the holster like pop out of the leg and the gun actually go into the leg is epically cool. He's a badass. He can take bullet hits. He goes through a lot for sure in the movie, but yeah, I think Robocop is awesome.
I mean, he is a tank.
Yes.
You know, and this is obviously the conceit of the film. All they have to do is sniper his mouth and shoot through his living bit, and they'll mess him up. Yeah. He's very easy to, like, in that sense of burn. I mean, because they can't regrow skin. So once he loses this, he's screwed. And I don't know if he'll live if he hasn't got any skin left, because I'm sure. But just don't shoot for that, and you're fine. Yeah, I mean, he's a we don't see in the original film how much of human versus robots left. In the newer one, it's very literal and it's gruesome and amazing, right? And it's very like, wow, you've got these few organs and it's all being So it's very much the vibe of this version of him is his head and his brain and maybe some of his like spine. Everything else is robot, right? But he's controlling the robot. There's the other one where it's more of a both. Like I think in the new one has one arm and not one arm. This is all robot, right?
It's got one hand.
Yeah, sorry. That's
the hand survived that they attached.
Yeah, so it's more of a hybrid. This is very much like a guy who controls that's why it's interesting, right? Is he one? Is he either? He's both. He's neither. He's Robocop, right? That's why he's really just a zeitgeist of a cool idea. And And I mean, what a thing for the actor Peter Weller to do. The clipping of the makeup is so extremely incredible because it doesn't look like it's extended that far out. It's very, very good, and I know it took him a long time to get into it, and he didn't like it in the sense it was crappy to do, but the recognition of how amazing it was to be in and effective, he was all for it and would always do it. But I remember they did a screen test, and it was like, right, let's commit 6 hours of makeup to a screen test. and then like, oh shit. Yeah, I mean, incredible design and character. I mean, iconic wise S, design wise maybe they're an A, because it is just an armored suit. If you be objective.
Yeah.
It's not quite as designed as it could be, but then maybe simplicity is key. What are you thinking?
I want to say S, just for the arc of the character, as well as the I think the design's fucking epically cool. It is just a suit, but
and don't you just love the machine gun they added on the third film on his hand?
Could fly too. He flies now. Just like R2, just randomly one day.
Well, okay, vote now, guys, because I think nostalgia is an S, design is an A. Vote now.
Yeah, put it in where you want him to be, S or A.
I might ignore you. But, yeah. He's the sort of character that I'm so thrilled they made a good video game. A good video game for him. Awesome. And it's just the movie. As in, like, he's just what he is. They didn't try anything weird with him. And it's all you need. And I'd be happy if they made 2 or 3 games just cop, multi-killer Robocop walking through things doing crime with some funny stuff in between. Cool. Done, right? You don't need to... That's why I'm happy to have Infinite Predator films. Predator in the Samurai. Predator in Alaska. Like, that, I'm fine with just same storyline with interesting characters in different eras. That I'm fine with that. Simple concept, right? Yeah.
You got an A from Keith Jeffrey for design, an S from Raj. It doesn't help, but still split. Jonathan Copeland, S tier. Hit that like button, guys. 25 likes is good. Can we get to 30? Let's see. S because he's always being upgraded. I think S it is for now.
Sometimes nostalgia also wins.
Yep.
Have you ever seen costumers in a full costume?
Yes.
Yes. Me as well.
Impressive, and I'm jealous.
Yeah, can you imagine actually getting into that? Oy. Yeah, it is very impressive. One of our main cosplay friends had one years ago, and despite being an old thing, the amount of crowds he would get.
Yeah.
And this man was a small man, but because of Robocop with a big, he felt big. Yeah, very cool.
The Space Force says 7 Zack 7. It's 7 Zark 7 from Battle of the Planets, by the way. So I just wanted to correct that. Classic for real, $20. $5 for Frame Arms Music Hatsune Miku, not regular Hatsune Miku. Which one's that? I don't know. You can put it in.
It is a robot though.
Sure. Where do you want to put it?
F, because the skirt's too short. You don't need to show robot legs. That's impractical.
Sure.
And the colours, I think, a bit garish.
And then I'll also DM Sam. Okay, $5 for Drozel von Frugel from the Japan-only Disney XD series Fireball, and I'll buy that for $5. Okay.
This is like the exact same thing, but not. I mean, it's a better design. I mean, that's definitely a D because it's kind of more.
Yeah, it's a D.
Well balanced.
It's very like kid friendly.
It's like the same thing though.
Yeah. Sure, D it is for that one because I don't know anything about it. And design's not that super impressive. So.
Well, it's kid. It's kid sleek. right?
Sure.
Kind of like the guy from, oh god, the one where he's made of like marshmallow, not literally, but looks like he's made of marshmallow, right? Which one's that guy?
Baymax.
Like, not a great design, but just good. Like, kid classic, right? Cool. Same thing with the lady from Wally. Not a great design, just yeah, kid works, right? Kid
Yeah.
works.
And then Ed 209.
Hey.
It's the law enforcement bot.
Mhm. Mhm.
Ed 209's funny just for the sake of being funny. Can't walk downstairs. Doesn't really listen to anybody. His program's faulty.
Mhm.
Hooked up to a machine in the conference room and blows somebody out the window. Yeah, it is literally just a military asset. So
Yeah.
design wise, pretty funny though. I like the feet. I've always liked the feet of Ed 209, especially when he's reaching for the stair and it's like the feet are like
Chicken legs.
yeah. And I love ATST walkers. This kind of invokes that a little bit,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
I still like ATST walkers better.
Yeah, I mean
This
this
is
is
just the comic relief for Robocop.
yeah, it's the they I mean that film knew what it's doing in every field, right? Like it just knew. But to have such a sleek, simple human and big, overcomplicated, bulky weapon, the dichotomy is clear. But every scene is iconic. I think the design is fantastic. But it's just a tank without intelligence, and we see that in the film. So D, because it's just
Yeah.
a tank. But I love the design personally. I would love to put in a fan film somewhere. As soon as that sounds, imagine this thing like the Enterprise D, shuttle bay because it's been found. You'd be like, you know what I mean? Like it would evoke something in you.
Just be in the holodeck on a training program.
Oh, all that. Fair enough. That's easier.
And then this last one is and Raj $5 for Soon Girls.
Couldn't find that. That Google couldn't find Sun Girls, so send me that as well.
Moving on though, Mark Lawrence $5. Dorothy from Big O, way stronger than she looks. Assume that's this girl up here.
Yes, yes. It's the most robot-looking picture of them. The rest of them are just a girl.
So I'm gonna have to say F. Sorry, Mark. Don't know anything about her. She's strong. That's cool, but anime is anime, and I don't know. So doesn't look robotic at all. Really.
Yes, yes, that is a low point because I could not tell you the robot. But that's okay.
Marco $5. Marvin, the paranoid android from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy movie, voiced by Alan Rickman.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I just want to put these to the back so they don't pop up in front of him. There he is. There. Again, it's been forever since I've seen this movie too, but he's just like he's like the Eeyore. Eeyore from Winnie
Yeah.
the Pooh with the very good look, I think, design wise. A little big and bulky, but I love that kind of dopey looking, sad, depressed robot vibe. Definitely comes across. And yeah, Alan Rickman does a good job. But again, I don't know, I don't remember enough of the movie specifically to, you know, character wise. Design wise, I'd probably give this a C. Probably fall in that C category. Personality wise, I'd probably bump it up to a B. But again, I can't really speak too much on the personality except for it's just a manic depressive robot. So that's always worried about everything.
Yeah, so this is tricky for me because I was a huge fan of the radio play, which is what it's based on. And then the original TV show was also very good. When I saw the movie, I hated everything about it because it was a real bastardization of everything
Yeah.
else. Very, very akin to 2009 Star Trek. Like, it's fancy, shiny, the jokes are worse, the characters are worse, the actors, great actor choices, but all bad in their roles. I hate this design overall compared to the original. It doesn't make sense to me, and it's more of a joke character than the original. So for me, this is a pure, like, it's inferior in every way to either what I envisioned from listening to the books for years or the one from the TV show made by the people who made the show. So this is a D. It's just a really shitty robot, just design in general. And the worst personality. So sorry to be harsh, but it's such a downstep from the proper one that it gets some negative points. And Alan
I don't know
Rickman's
anything about
perfect, but
yeah.
it's just They fucked up so hard on that film. It's shocking.
And I don't know anything about the books, so that's all. The film was all I have to go on. So
There's two remakes I just find personally offensive. Not like massively, just like I just don't like them. That and the Prime Prejudice film, because the 8 hour TV series is absolutely exceptional. And I watched the film and I only got through 7 minutes because the first 7 minutes was the first hour of the series. And I know that really well, and it's like, oh my god, they skipped so much good stuff, and it's like, oh no, they can't possibly, and all the actors were just didn't feel like they just can't possibly do it justice in 7 minutes for an hour. So I just gave up instantly. Like, no, I can't. It's not gonna be good. So that for me is that.
cool. All right, classic for real, $5. Doctor Bones from those awful Star Wars sequel tie-in novels by that super overrated author.
Yeah, never heard of this, but interested to see the look.
Is it on screen?
Yes. No. Yes. It's a battle droid.
Is it dead? Is it Deadpool? Battle droid Deadpool?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Really good look.
Yeah.
I love that it incorporated a battle droid,
Yeah.
but no, nothing about it. If it has a personality like Deadpool, that's cool. B? I don't know.
I mean, C because it's just battle droid painted red. Like I can't say personality, right? I don't know anything, so.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's pretty. Yeah, it's cool.
Visually, it's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Mark Lawrence, $5. By the way, I'm in Bedford at the moment. Bedford, Texas. So the wrong Bedford.
That's kind of crazy. Pretty cool though.
My grandma used to live on Bedford Drive in Stratford. So Bedfords are around, man. Just saying.
Yeah. I like it.
Jonathan Copeland, $5. T-800 from Terminator 2. Still robot under the skin, but he evolved to be more human. He did. Absolutely. And the classic one. Thank God somebody's not doing anime.
So technically we should have both on the screen at the same time. So here's a picture of Arnie as well.
We'll do the half Ernie, half robot face. Because then they are both on the screen at the same time.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes. An assassin killer droid. Again, just kind of hardware military tech, but adaptable. So it feels like it's kind of sentient. And then it does actually kind of achieve sentience. But I'm reprogrammed by John Connor in the future. Just, sent back to protect himself, I guess, and his mom. And yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger brings something to that character that's very special and unique. So let's okay. And I mean, very good with weapons, very good with like one line quips. He definitely does learn and adapt, and you feel something for this character, which in the first one you felt something as well, but it was the exact opposite because he was going after Sarah Connor. He was just a assassin, like a death machine. And then yes, going to create many more movies, some not so great, but the character's kind of always there, and I kind of love every form of Arnold's different versions of the T-800. So a very successful robot from Sci-Fi franchise. James Cameron did really good work with this. So
it's hard when you create the definitive.
Yeah.
It's
Thank God it wasn't O.J. Simpson that was cast like they were originally going to do.
Having to recreate him in CG for nauseum would be a problem.
Yeah.
There's a great joke in a shockingly entertaining Naked Gun remake trailer, which, wow. Please watch the trailer. I get that it's like 80s comedy, but boy, it was refreshing to watch that level of stupid, but like ton so seriously with Liam Neeson taking over from the previous chap with the white hair. And there's and in Naked Gun originally there was O.J. Simpson's a cop. There's a great shot of them all referencing their previous pictures, and they do fully go the bit. And the son's like, "Yeah, don't talk about that." But it's just so well done. For like, you need that sort of stupid slapstick. Like, gone are the 90s, 2000s, teen comedies. They're just gone. Because you can't do that humor anymore. So it's so refreshing to see that sort of like dumb, stupid, ridiculous humor. And Liam Neeson committing fully was really so that. Sorry, OJ was in that, and that was a good joke. It's a good joke. Double S. Because he also wins for being like outside on is such a unique body anyway as a face. He's not like anybody else, and the exoskeleton is just an exceptionally good design for a robot, and it would just be a killing machine as Ed 209 is. It would be in theory a D, and probably a worse design in a sense because it's just a Cuban skeleton, right? But because it absolutely, once sent out of the plant, it learns. So after every day, it's no longer its programming. At least the more advanced middle one. That's what makes it interesting. And the fact that a same robot killing machine can become a surrogate father and Drape's repair person in Dark Fate shows that given enough time they can become their own people, and it works stupidly well as a like. He sells that really well, so that shows it's a fully sentient, even though not. It's very clever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely an S.
Yeah, it's all very different in S. All really, really different. And guys, vote in the poll. We've got 37 votes, 40. I'll do a new one at 40. I promised you. 37. 3 more votes. I don't know if you can win, but vote now. And yeah, guys, put in all 3 Terminators. Like, put them. I'd love to talk about all of them and see how they compare, because they're all different, right? They're all different.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, but hit the like button too. Let's get up to 30 likes if we can. That'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would. What a hell of a just scattergun across the board, right?
Yeah.
That's great.
All right. Next up, we've got Sean O'Sullivan with €2. Kryten, he learned how to call Rimmer a smeghead. I love the design of Kryten. Like, human-like, like kind of like Odo almost. Got most of the things right, but not. I love the acting. Love the humor of the character. But the general look is really good. And yeah, it comes across robotic. That makeup is fantastic, honestly. So,
yeah, he's not one of those zeitgeists of like C3. They just got it right the first time.
yeah,
Like it's a guy in a basic body, but it's meant to be a replicant human. And in fact, they do say in the show originally they were more human-like, but people got distracted, so they made shittier-looking ones on purpose. Hence why his head looks like a novelty condom and a pencil eraser. But just the gloriously angled lines is so unhuman, but like Robert's just in there, and the fact that there's so much expression that he can do, and that you don't see the seam of the makeup, sells you on both that it is a real character, but also not limiting the acting. Whereas like C3PO, of course, like there's nothing happening. He's able to do both. I mean, hell, evolution of the character. He says fundamentally identical from episode 2, because the first one's not the same really, until the last. But there's so much he can do and not do. He's a space pilot. He's a scavenger. He's a doctor. He's a chef. He's a laundry person. He, everything, right? Now, obviously, Red Dwarf isn't exactly the world phenomenon. I think it's certainly loved by many places. But I mean, how many characters have 30 years of stories and always doing new things and always being consistent, and the acting's always like 10 out of 10. So I'm very biased, but as a stupidly interesting robot, he's got to be up there. So I'm gonna let you judge, but I would say he's in the top 2 tiers, and I'll let you decide.
I'd say A personally.
Okay. Yeah, great. I mean, I think he's absolutely fantastic. And the amount of little things he can do, like for literally the a washing up machine guy. He can do so much more than yeah. Tremendous. I like Robert Llewellyn a lot because it's not how he acts. It's a character. It's really a character. He's very gentle, Robert Llewellyn.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
like
very
Chris Judge,
low-key.
not like his character.
Yeah, 100%.
Dan Ben, €2. Star Wars Rebels AP. Oh, actually, before we'll finish up with the Soon Girls.
Yes.
So Sutra, Soji, Doji, whatever the fuck her name was.
The main one.
And Lal.
That makes more sense because I googled Sun Girls and nothing came up. So thanks for clarifying. Boy, I had to try and search hard to find a picture of the first episode. Soji, because she was not a character very long.
Oh my god! All right, Sutra should get S because look at her, she's amazing. Gold skin, named after the Kama Sutra. What can that android do?
What can't it do?
Right? I don't know what to say about these. They're kind of failures as far as droids go. Lao was a better character than these two.
Well, Lal was a better android. The other two were just playing humans, really.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Asuch was interesting because she was given a character. She wasn't just given a person.
Yes.
So I would vote Daj and Soji, although they are very distinctly different. They're also not. I'd say put them both in D.
Yeah. Okay. I like that thinking.
But there's because there's a sliding scale. I'd say D because they're not very successful in general. I'd say Lal gets either a low B or a high C because I don't think they're that interesting considering. I don't believe.
They're a C.
Yeah, I don't believe like. Is that what Data looked like originally? Don't know. But I kind of think Sutra was kind of interesting because, like, I bought that she was an evil bitch. And much better with the makeup choice.
Yeah.
Like, that sells it in such a great way and having the Data looking thing. So I'd put that as an interesting B because that's an actual character. More than Lal because Lal was a lack of character, right? I know that sounds ridiculous, but...
Read my mind. No, you read my mind,
yeah.
kind of.
The sliding scale... That gold skin, man. It was so rewarding to see that because we were like, oh, they lost that. They're back. At least some of them were.
Yeah. All right. So now moving on. Dan Ben, €2 or £2. Star Wars Rebels AP5.
Oh, 40 votes. 40 votes. Sorry, 40 votes.
Oh.
Is R2D2 in your top 3 robots or androids of all time? Yes, 68%. Say top 3. No, 32%. How do you feel, Stuart?
Like 32% of people are wrong.
Yes.
Give me 1 second. I got to go do something real quick. I'll be right back.
Alrighty. Just doing another poll. Terminator or review cop. Okay, vote now if you would. Yes. I don't know him from the show in particular, this Star Wars android. But yeah, one of the classics from the original movies, more insectoid. Yeah, just an all-round decent robot design. Yes, Sean, absolutely. But we're and Ed 209 is a tank. So there's a slightly broad brush. Yeah, lots of Star Wars robots. And as I said before, we could do all of the Terminators. Terminators if you want, because they're all different characters. There's also T-1000 in the TV show. There's lots of characters in the TV show. And a lot of Star Wars robots.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
Yes.
All right. Don't know anything about this character. Apparently, he hangs out with Chopper, though.
Yeah, I know of him. It's more just this droid design I've known since the
Yeah,
start. What do you think?
interesting look for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I like the design. Design wise, I kind of feels like the original prototype design for C-3PO a little bit, body wise, especially.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I love that they incorporate that kind of stuff.
Kind of famous for that, aren't they?
Yeah. Character wise, if you're saying about Chopper, he's probably got a pretty interesting attitude and
Mm.
personality, but I'm going to say probably B for design. I kind of like it.
Just yeah. I think the robot the Transformers guy, Power Rangers guy is a slightly better design. I think there's more
Mm-hmm.
design work going on. This is just a simple body with an interesting face. But I think character wise there's more going on there. I'm gonna trust that. But I think they're close because I do think there's more interesting design Power Rangers design. But it's a good design for robots. It's not inspiring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I
So
far
B?
I think Lobi. I think like it just crosses over because
Yeah.
I know it's from the show. I know of it. Like if you added IG-88, that's a really cool robot. Like that's
Yeah.
a design.
Or IG-11.
What do you know?
Got to know him better than IG-88.
Oh, we've not co-clud. Don't worry, it's coming. It's coming.
All right. Keith Jeffries, 2 pounds. Marvin, the paranoid android. Didn't we already cover
Nope,
him?
the other one. The other picture.
Oh, this one?
Yes. Voiced by the
Yeah, no.
original actor for the original TV show Z. That's far more
Mm-hmm.
faithful. Isn't that a better design than the other one?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Like it's dumb, but it's
This
just
this feels like those wind up robot toys you
yeah,
see all the time
hundred
for
percent.
Christmas, like the square.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
Yeah. It. I don't know what I have a vision for the character, but this is for me far more in keeping with Douglas Adams' original concept. The other one is just a big giant. Like, why is the head big? I don't know. There's no reason for it except to be sellable toys, like to sell toys. I think. I guess it matches the ship, but why would it? Yeah, way more dialogue, way more interesting dialogue. Not like 1,000,000,000% better. Like as a design, it's decent. And I love your parallel there. Was obvious. So I'd say very high C, but
yeah.
that's more for personality. But
One of the classic you go to looks for robots.
yeah, exactly.
Those like wind up Tinker toys, right? So
Yeah. Oh, but then you compare it to that Star Wars robot which you looked at. It's definitely better than that though, because it's more interesting.
I disagree
It's
personally.
more
But
interesting in design though.
do what you want to do with it.
Ah,
Put the Star Wars one down to see if you want.
yeah. Either move Marvin to B or him to C, whichever you feel more strongly about. Because he's got a lot of personality. Has that Marvin? So
Well, a lot of personality equals a B.
okay. Damn. Hence debate. Discussion.
Classic for real, $5. Fiona Apple from the first Macross movie, the one featuring the voice of Bryan Cranston in the English translation.
I couldn't find what that was. You search those things and nothing comes up. So send me that because it's not my fault. I mean, it might be the lady. The one thing I saw that was a robot-looking maybe person.
Okay, move on for now.
Is this? But I for some reason don't think that's it. But yeah, no. You Google Macross doesn't come up. So because people have got to like care enough about these creatures to take a screen cap, put it on the internet as a separate like document.
Yeah, and label it properly.
Yeah, there isn't just like every character from every show and everything. So yeah, nothing kept. Send me a picture because I can't be found as far as I could see.
Okay, we'll get back to that one then.
Yes.
Classic for real, $5. By Soon Girls, I meant as in
Mm-hmm.
Star Trek, but specifically Last Five from 20 Super or Wow, Data's daughter, and this $5 for Soji from Picard.
But because we now understand, I also added the other Sun Girl.
Ah,
Another Sun Girl.
she's actually higher than any of them. Is this the one that doesn't know? No,
Yep.
it's not.
Yep. Sung's wife.
Yeah, but she knows I was thinking this isn't the one that doesn't know how to hold a tricorder. That's
Yeah.
the
No.
the crystalline entity lady. Yeah, it's a different lady.
Probably.
Anyway, yeah, this is probably a B. I mean, design wise, this is an old lady.
Yeah, but there's not really design going on. It's just data,
I
but
know.
not.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, very interesting the fact she doesn't know she's an android. Um, the whole episode around. Okay, I don't know. C.
Same as Sutra, because she's equally as interesting and not at the same time.
Okay, so B then.
You know.
Interesting. Okay. Classic for real, $5. R.O.B, the Nintendo robot. That's this thing. Which
I know
never
nothing about.
never fucking worked right. Was a gimmick just to get money, essentially. This is something you could. There's specific games that you have this set up beside you, and we take little spinning discs and like put them on the controller so you could play with another person when you didn't have another person with you. But the robot never worked properly. Just go watch Angry Video Games video um, Angry Video Game Nerds video on it. So this is an absolute F. Design wise, it's a classic 80s robot. But yeah, it's got to be an F because it's not really a robot, and it never worked properly for what it was intended for.
I have no thoughts. It's a toy-looking thing. So I'll let you pick it, Stuart, because you know what? I trust you. I trust you.
In that case, it's an S. It's better than Terminator.
I trust you less now. I trust you less now.
Okay, that's still one.
I think you're joking. So
I totally am.
Okay, but that was good acting though. That was a good deadpan because yeah. Yep. That was a good job. Stuart
Right.
should get points for
that. Classic for real, $5. Spoilers for The World's End, but the robot played by Martin Freeman in The World's End, specifically when he loses his head, flips someone off.
Which I've seen that movie once, and I remember some of it, but also it being not that good.
Yeah, same. I haven't seen it in a long time. I've been meaning to rewatch it because I'm kind of going back and watching some of those movies.
Yeah.
I
think cinema and then never again. I also forgot he was a robot because that's how memorable it is in the end of the movie. Because the thing is, the first two films are so good,
F.
right? Yes, F. The first two films are so good, and this is a weird sci-fi one that doesn't hit. Like, its gimmick is too weak. Although I like Simon Pegg a lot on it. I think he's really good. Because he's a bit of a
Simon Pegg's good in everything.
But, like, he's a distinct character. I mean, he's in all three. Like, he's very different in all three. Well, I mean, he's just sort of himself in the first film, and then he's a very good cop in the second one. But, didn't even remember that he was a robot person. Although, great visual effect there.
Yeah. Okay. And spoilers for some people, yes. Glad you put that in there.
Yeah.
Sean O'Sullivan, €2. K9 saves the world in Journeys, ends with TARDIS codes.
K9.
Name is on point. Look is on point. I've seen these at conventions too. They're easy to make.
I've seen one of the originals in person.
But how is it?
Oh, I'm beat up. I mean, you know, it's old.
Yeah.
Because normally the actor that plays it, at least in the early 2000s when I was doing these more, he would come and he'd bring his own, which was a screen used one, because they let him keep one.
Yeah.
And it's just, so you are meeting literally the prop and the guy who can do the voice on demand. So pretty fun to sort of be there and like that. That is the weather. It's pretty cool. Did not think this was going to come. I'm going to be honest. Didn't even occur to me, but it's like, yeah, this is the. There's a few robots and Doctor. This is like Doctor Robot, right? Shit, yeah.
Yeah, I can't say that I've seen anything with it in. I'm well aware.
I mean, the one episode in the new series with was reintroduced with Sarah Jane, I assume. One with a school with Sarah Jane in second season of Doctor Who.
Which Doctor?
The newest one, bar one. The David Tennant, there you go. Oh no, you started with Matt Smith.
I've seen Eccleston, I've seen Smith, I've seen Capaldi. I
Ah.
don't like Tennant.
You're like one of the smallest minority of Doctor Who fans out there. Good,
I
good,
know.
good job. I've seen them all. Yeah, Kanan's
Yeah,
great.
I like the design for a robotic dog with the name K9. I think it's awesome.
He was a very expensive prop at the time because he actually worked. Like almost everything he did. Because guess what? They had no money to spend on like effects, so he did the things that they had to have him do. Yeah,
Yeah.
really good character, really distinct, great acting. It was all live on set, so it was like actually acted. And there's a few bloopers where the Kenan actor just ad libs with Tom Baker, especially. And it's funny to him. Sometimes a kid like swear, you know, because it's ad libbing, right? And the bane of their existence, because of course, like the take had to work, and the robot had to actually go across the ground and do a thing. Very advanced at the time, very very advanced. It did everything, but also they'd get rid of him several times because he is everything. He's a supercomputer. He's got very powerful lasers. He's got a shield generator. He can do. He's the sonic screwdriver on meth, and a personality. But yeah, honestly, he's very. There was nothing wrong with K9 actually. I didn't think he was going to be in here, so I'm going to say A because he's a very across the board. He's a great design, great actor, great character. He's in dozens of episodes. He's got loads of personality. He's in 2 spin-offs. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I assume this lady is the lady that Classic sent you.
Wait for it to pop up.
Well, I haven't pulled her in yet. I'm just
Oh.
wondering if that's what it is.
The one on the right.
Why it's there.
It's a robot, apparently. I could find no pictures of it being a robot, though. So that is the closest.
Typical anime bullshit. Looks like a
Generic
person.
woman.
Know nothing about her.
Excellent. The lowest F.
Do you have anything else to put in there?
She's too pale. Too pale.
Okay.
And he could have done that. He could have put in a T1000 with that. Could have talked about all. Okay. So many Terminators to talk about. But no, we
Yeah,
we can
this
form
one's gonna
the audience.
this one's gonna need to be revisited because there's so many more robots that we have on just off screen that you guys haven't even said, which are
raring to be reviewed. And although in fairness, we created a hell of a measuring stick now across the board.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hit the like button, guys. 3 more likes to get to 30. We are winding down here soonish. So let's see. Do we want to bring anything in? Okay, I'm gonna bring one in.
Oh, I love it.
R.O.B droid.
Yeah.
They show up everywhere in Star Wars, usually in the background. I love the look of this, though, very crab-like with the multiple tentacles. It is a probe droid. It is designed for going down and getting samples or searching for something. I love the antenna, the little. The sounds it makes are awesome, but I also have the Black Series version of this, which is a nice big one. A great look for sure. Love the Imperial tech, but I got it. Yeah. Anyway, what do you have to say about it before I?
Well, it's tricky because it is more of that Ed to a 9 style, because as in what's its ability to comprehend, it can search and seek and report back, but can it make conscious decisions beyond that? I don't know. I don't think so, but so it's straddling the line beyond belief, right?
Yeah, considering we know about most droids in Star Wars have that kind of capability to adapt and do whatever they need to do, while some are just messengers. The fact that it's called a probe droid, I assume it can like adapt and kind of, you know, depending on the situation, make decisions. I don't know, personality wise, I don't think it would have one.
Yeah, I think it's more of a very clever computer. So I'd give it same as Ed to a 9 for the same logic. Great design, iconic thing, but it probably
Hmm.
falls under the non-sentient Star Wars category.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a robot, but in the literal sense, not the slightly evolved where we're adding characters. If we're looking at design of robots, because things, if we were just going to design on robots, this would be a different list, right? This is everything put together.
I love how it's in the same tier as Soji.
Yes, I am fine with this.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, guys, any more? Throw them in real quick because we're coming down to the wire here. So
Mm-hmm.
Sean O'Sullivan throws in €2 and says Isaac saved humanity and married Cassidy Yates.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go right out on a limb here and say Isaac probably deserves to be an S tier. The learning about the Kalons, I love the design of him. It does change from season 1 to season 2. I think the season 2 look is way better. Uh, but their heads, the transforming with the guns,
That is true. Yeah,
evil,
yeah, yeah.
sinister looking bastards. Again, they're kind of designed to be weapons, but not because they're a sentient race in and of themselves. We learned so much about Isaac and the Kalons. They're very much reminiscent of the Borg in the Orville. Um, not only their ships, but just kind of their collectiveness, if you will. And yeah, he had a fantastic arc. His human version on the environmental simulator is really really cool as well. Nice guy, you get to like him. He's good. He's very much like Data in a lot of ways with the way he interacts with people. I think he was done really well, and I really enjoy the character. Can't wait to see him more if they do another season because he's one of my favorite characters. And it's such a simple look. Like the head is so simple but so amazing at the same time. Like the glowing eyes in there. And then, like I said, when it transforms with the guns, it just the same eyes, but they turn red, and they've got the I don't know. The guns are fantastic. Everywhere it looks, it can shoot. Yeah.
Can you believe that in 2 years it'll be 10 years since the Orville started?
No. Fuck.
Because they had
Makes me feel old.
3 seasons with delays, but the last one ended in 2022. So it's already been 3 years, which is
Damn.
slightly mind-blowing anyway. And of course, when we were at Vegas, they confirmed they're filming season 4 in January. I do not think that happened because they would not be able to keep that down because of the amount of people working on it and whatever. So that certainly didn't happen. You know, it's a big ship with a big crew with whatever. So whatever happened, Orville, it's been a while, and it's one of those amazing like modern like. Cause if this was any other era of TV history, they'd be in season 7 by now.
Yeah.
But 3 seasons in 7 years. If they do another one,
I hope for another. I hope if there's another season, it's a time jump
oh,
and get
yeah.
get like different uniforms and like yeah.
Wrath of Kharnet. I mean, bit
Yeah.
early for that, but yeah, because it's not going to be out until 26. Earliest it starts filming this year. So already you're looking at 9 years. If they do 27, that's 10 years. Everyone's going to look notably older, because of course they will. No one's young in that show. So add 10 years, they're going to look like their ages, which is fine. Yeah, 10 years forward. That'd be, yeah. Isaac. Yeah, he's kind of Data mixed with C-3PO. The roboticness of one, but the actor who I've met, who's absolutely lovely, all of the physicality is the character, right? Like his oomph is the non-tangible interestingness, and the voice is also then interesting as well. So it's a very, very successful character. It's sort of playing it safe, and not in a bad way. It's doing those two things slapped together, but it works, right? And as we've said, having that much expressiveness on a blank face, you're adding all that in. Design-wise, it's good. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it's such a hard bar to go on, right? So I would say A, because I think it doesn't hit the S's. but I think
Mm.
it's it did a lot of amazing stuff. And you're right, because of the mass killer robot face stuff, that gave it a point extra for me.
Mm.
But I'd say A for all that combined. Because there's a line between Robocop, Terminator, R2D2, and Isaac. There is a line, right? I'd compare him to Kryten quite favourably. Kryten has done more in less, more and more. A is my vote.
In the amount of time we've had him, though, like the character has really shone through, and it
Mm-hmm.
could have been more like it's very well handled, very well
That's why I'm
acted,
saying
very well
A.
written.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah. I think the design just isn't ultra inspiring, but clearly it's A worthy.
Yeah. All right. Keith Jeffries, 2 pounds. Sergeant Major Zero, Tara Hawks. I assume that's this.
No idea. I mean, yes that, but I have no idea what it is.
I've seen it over the years. Never really watched Terror Hawks, so I don't know. I'm gonna design wise give this a C for at least being kind of uniquely not human, but you know,
The problem is it looks like it's out of Spaceballs. It looks like a joke character,
yeah.
but that's just a limitation of the time. I mean, I'd say D or lower personally because it's not interesting. It's just a ball.
Okay.
If there's no character to speak of that I know of, then I can't say anything. I'm so sorry.
All right. Classic for real. $5 peanut hamper. Ugh,
I mean, that's a fair one.
F.
A lot of
Fucking
character in
hate
Pin
peanut
Hamper. A
hamper.
lot of character in Pin Hamper.
Okay, well then, I want to give it an F because I hate peanut hamper. What redeeming qualities does peanut hamper have?
Good episodes. Very distinct character. Very distinct character. Very technologically able. He can do a lot of cool stuff with the device. Classic Rick Sternberg design. So hashtag legacy factor there. It is a very, a very clear robot, but with full sentience, etc.
A D then?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. If it had something else, it'd be higher. That's a weird way of saying it, but yeah.
Really
But
surprised
but
Olivia didn't say peanut hamper, to
but
be
it did do a
honest.
lot more than LOL though. Like a lot more than LOL, a lot more character, a lot more screen time, a lot more action. No, maybe move LOL
But I
down then.
liked Law.
It's great. Maybe move LOL down then to D because comparatively character wise. But then see that's what I mean. Like compare and contrast. Yeah, yeah.
And do it that way.
Sorry. The next one is all yours, and you can use your energy to its fullest. Okay, next one's on you. Always one after that. The one after that will be all you.
Great.
Yep.
Sean O'Sullivan, €2. K2SO, British style dry wit personified. Yep. Andy Tudyk.
Yep. Alan Tudyk.
Uh, it's funny because we're watching the Endor season 2 now. We just
We
got to
had
the
to.
episode where they reactivated him, and I haven't. It was right at the end. It's like, oh, so now we're gonna watch the rest tonight, and I like to see how he is in Andor. But honestly, I love this character. The design is terrifying. It looks very scary as it's meant to because it's an Imperial droid, and the things it can do are quite awful. Um, but yes, to have the dry wit, the dry humor, the snarkiness, the sarcasticness, it's just I love this character immensely. I've been jonesing to see him in Andor season 2 because I knew he was coming, and I'm still jonesing because I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna see it tonight. I think design wise, it like I said, terrifying, spindly little legs. They're a pain in the ass. I've got a metal one, and I've also got one of the Bandai kits, and they're difficult to stand up sometimes. But I love that because it's something that at first glance just looks like this is not going to work. It still does, and yeah, it's combined with the personality that is K2SO. Um, ugh. What do you have to say about K2SO, my friend?
Rogue One is such an interesting film because it's better, like the prequels, once you've seen other things. Like at the time, it was praised and negative in equal measure for very different reasons, right?
Yeah.
Because it was comparing it to the sequels, to the prequels and the original trilogy. Now it looks like a fucking masterpiece compared to the sequels and everything after. Because we had higher standards back then, but those standards got brutally betrayed by everything after, right? Yeah. Amazing, right? So when I watched it, I've only seen it once all the way through, and it's in that vein, the original cinema vein, where I was like, okay, yeah, for first 4 minutes is way too long and should have been cut down to like 6 minutes. But he is great in it, but he's kind of a one-note character, but the one note is exceptional. You know? So I'm glad they brought him back. I'm kind of surprised they haven't brought the robot design with the voice back, because he could voice other robots in the K2 style, right? Like, I'm surprised they haven't brought Alan. And given Alan's not British, it's funny he chose British for this. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't remember much from the film, particularly except the highlight reel bits. Like I say, it's a very one note, but yeah, funny, silly, brutal. Excited me in Andor when I eventually get around to season 2. Not best design, not very. I don't know why he's designed that way. I see no logic behind the design except he looks creepy. Like, he's vicious as all hell in season 1 when he grabs a guy by the, like, that's great. But I don't understand why the design is the way he is. There's nothing. I don't why it's been. You know what I mean? So, not points for logic, but points for character. So I'm kind of equals out in my head. So I'll let you place him, but it's sort of like, yeah.
I had my way, I'd give him an S because I love the character, but I'm willing to do A because of all the things you said about design. I love that it's not a standard weird astromech thing, because there's a lot of those in Star Wars. Like, this is something that feels like C-3PO and yet not. It's like the counter C-3PO.
Well, it's like the military FU C-3PO.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I'm willing to put him at A for now.
So I'm looking at A. I would say everything in A is better designed than K2SO.
Even Isaac?
Yes. But personality raises it, but I would say everything in A is better designed, than, at least logic-wise. I don't think you agree with that necessarily, but how would you feel on that?
Yeah, I do not agree with that.
Okay.
We're going to put him in A.
Yeah, and I think I was fine for A as well. I just think everything in A is better designed, but the personality of him is so interesting. Hmm. But he's meant to stand out, right? He's meant to stand out.
I think he's way better designed than Bicentennial Man. Way better designed than Kryten. Way better designed than Isaac, personally.
But I understand.
He's kind of on par with Iron Giant.
But I understand them. I don't understand him. You know.
I like him. Yeah. I think it's a good design. Honestly,
it's a good design. That's why I'm saying, hey.
All right, next up we got Classic for Real, $5. This will be the last one, guys. Got to do this. Super Fuminama. Anyway.
Fu Manchu?
Some fucking chick. This should look quite familiar.
I mean, I'm definitely, I'm going to place this at a S++. But I'll
way better designed than anything on the board.
Yeah. Like I said, S++, I think if you're going pure design-wise, logic, blend into reality well, really, really excellent, yeah.
Put her at S++, which is way over here. It's actually off the board. It's just so fucking stellar. It's just out there.
Oh, it's fucking stellar, right? It's so beyond stellar. Yeah. Yeah, wow. Yeah.
She takes up all of S just because...
There's a lot of stellarness.
But for real though, she moves so far past the double S that she comes right back around like asteroids and ends up in the F category.
That is what I was going for, yes. Double S is an F. Yes. It's not a robot, and if it is, it's a girl. So it's funny. There is a robot girl in that Michael, not that one with where she's goes around a circuit at the end and everyone's kind of cyborg faces, but
Oh,
not.
Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah, that's a robot girl. Who's a robot and a girl. That's just a girl with robot parts. And still no T1000. Yeah. Part 2 though, Stuart. There is so many. I mean, boy, as we close out, the fact that we had on the board and did not get to talk about. Yeah, we had Bender. I mean, all-time iconic. Noel mentioned Bender. Wally, all-time iconic. Lost in Space guy, all-time iconic for an age group. iRobot guy, another the guy from the thing that I said. This guy, Lost in Space.
R.O.B the robot.
Yep. That one that people like. That guy that people knew at the time. Like, iconic.
Twiggy.
Sure. Icons of cinema. And we end on an anime girl with some guns on her arms. As is our tradition.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Right. Well, this was one we're probably going to revisit. Maybe we should revisit it tomorrow. Just continue from here.
Yeah. I mean, refine the board a little bit. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We might do something else tomorrow and revisit this next week or something. Because a lot of times we say we'll revisit. We never actually go back to revisit.
And how many Star Wars do we get in this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 5. That's a lot of robots in Star Wars.
Yeah. But we did get the greatest of the Star Wars robots, so happy about that.
Very nice. Very nice.
All right. Well, we're going to call it there. Thank you guys for tuning in. Everybody that super chatted, we love you. Even Classic. You annoy me and you love it. You love seeing the annoyance through the screen. I just know it.
It makes him live and breathe. Also, T800 Terminator wins as best character. Only 12 votes though. But 75% love the Terminator over the Robocop. Just saying.
Wow. Cool. All right.
There we go. See you tomorrow, guys and gals, and Classic for Real, who's his own unique.
Guys, gals, and assorted life forms and droids. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Until then, he's Commander Cock.
He's Got a Foley.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Beep, beep,
Oh,
boop, beep,
what?
Bop, beep, beep, beep.
Fucking
classic.
Oh.
Goddamn.